Next, let's take a look at the hem. It's divided into section 1 and section 2. First, let's look at section 1. Start from the bottom of the left front piece. Work back and forth along the bottom edges of the front and back pieces. You'll need to change colors during the process. Please watch as I demonstrate. Have the right side of the top facing you. Make sure the foundation chain is facing up. Insert into the edge stitch of the left front piece. Join the new yarn here. Make one beginning chain. Work one single crochet in the same stitch. Pay attention to weaving in the tails. Then continue picking up the remaining chains and work single crochets. Keep working until you reach the second to last stitch of the foundation chain. Arrive at the corresponding position. The yarn for section 2 of the front piece is a different color. You need to change colors when working the last stitch here. First, at the position of the last chain, work one incomplete single crochet. Insert yarn over, and draw the yarn through. This is an incomplete single crochet. We will call the current yarn on the hook color 1. Then take the yarn that matches the color of section 2 of the front piece. We'll call this color 2. Hold color 2 with your left hand. Draw the loop through. Tighten the yarn. The color change is now complete. Continue working single crochets with color 2. Complete the single crochet with color 2. Here on the double crochets and beginning chains. Work 2 single crochets into each stitch. On the back, work 1 single crochet in each chain. Everyone, finish the single crochets in the color 2. For now, don't do anything with the unused color 1. Again, at the last stitch, work an incomplete single crochet and switch colors. Take the other tail of color 1. Change the color. Then finish the remaining stitches with color 1. Leave the unused yarn tail for now. That completes H1. Next, work H2. Make 3 chains to start. Turn the piece counterclockwise. This row alternates between 2 double crochets and 1 chain. Skip 1 stitch below each chain. Refer to the chart and continue crocheting until you reach the second to last stitch of color 1. Once you've reached the corresponding position, at the last stitch of color 1, work an incomplete double crochet and change colors. When there are 2 loops remaining, hold color 2 with the left hand, yarn over and pull through. The yarn tail here should not be too loose or too tight. Place color 1 in front. Then complete the stitches with color 2 when crocheting the last chain. Hold color 1 with the left hand, change colors and crochet out. Continue to finish the stitches with color 1. Pay attention to the marker positions for certain sizes. No need to skip 1 chain. Everyone refer to the chart while crocheting. This completes H2. Continue with H3. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn the piece counterclockwise. This row involves working single crochets in the stitches, and in the chain spaces from the previous row. For some sizes, the marker position requires skipping 1 stitch unworked. The color change position is also use the method of working incomplete single crochets. Similarly, leave the yarn tail from the color change for later. Everyone finishes this row. After completing the last stitch, there's no need to fasten off. This completes H3. Section 1 of the hem is now crocheted. Next, move on to section 2. Continue with a foundation chain from section 1. Then work back and forth in rows along the chain. During the process, join it with section 1. And you will also need to change colors. The new stitch used is HDC2 tog. Please watch me demonstrate. First, work the corresponding number of chains. The sample has fewer stitches. For the exact stitch count, please refer to the chart. After completing the foundation chain, make 3 chains as the beginning chain, then turn the piece counterclockwise. Next, at the 5th chain from the end, work a double crochet. Note that you're crocheting on the back of the chain here. Then make a chain for spacing. Skip one chain. Work the next double crochet. Make another chain for spacing. Skip one chain. Work one double crochet. This row involves working double crochets into the chains. Between the double crochets, chain one as a spacer. And leave one chain unworked below. Continue until there is one chain left. Reach the corresponding position. Crochet one chain. Then on the third stitch from the end of H3 of section 1. Work a single crochet. This completes H1 of section 2. Move on to H2. Skip one stitch on the left side. Crochet a single crochet in the second stitch. Then chain 1. Turn the piece. Work a HDC2 tog next. In the two spaces below, work an incomplete half double crochet each, yarn over, insert, yarn over again, draw the yarn through. This is the first incomplete half double crochet. Now work the second one, yarn over, insert into the space on the left side, yarn over again, draw the yarn through. That's the second one, yarn over again, pull through all loops on the hook once. A HDC2 tog is done. Now make one chain. Then in the same space below, and the space on the left side, work one DC2 tog. Continue to finish this row. That completes H2. Now work H3. Make 3 chains to start. Turn the piece counterclockwise. Then pick up the left double crochet, and work 1 double crochet. Then work 1 chain. After completing it, work 1 double crochet in the DC2 tog on the left. Pay attention to picking up the stitch of the DC2 tog. and the one strand of yarn in front. That means you'll be working with these 3 strands here. Next, make 1 chain. Then pick up the same 3 strands where the DC2 tog is. When crocheting the hem section at the DC2 tog position, always pick up these 3 strands and crochet. Now we've reached the HDC2 tog. Pick up the stitch and crochet. Then make 1 chain. Next, skip 1 stitch on the left side and work 1 single crochet. That completes H3. H4 is worked in the same way as H2. First, skip 1 single crochet. Then work 1 single crochet in the second single crochet on the left. Then make 1 chain. Turn the piece. Start with 1 HDC2 tog. Then complete the rest of the stitches. That completes H4. For the remaining rows, the stitch patterns are identical to H2 and H3. Pay attention. For the first few rows and last few rows of the hem, when joining section 1, skip 1 single crochet between each row. For the rows in the middle, no stitches need to be skipped. Continue crocheting. Keep going until you reach the color change position. If you need to switch colors on this side, simply cut the yarn. Then pick up the new yarn. Join it and continue to crochet as usual. If you encounter a color change on this side, while working the single crochet, make an incomplete single crochet, then switch colors and continue to crochet. The yarn tails can be woven in the piece later. For the 2 nearby tails, you can tie a knot to secure them. Continue crocheting section 2 of the hem. After completing the last row, leave about 10 centimeters and cut the yarn. Then hide all the yarn tails here, inside the piece following the texture. That completes the explanation for crocheting the hem. Next, let's look at crocheting the edging. This includes cuff edging, hem edging, and front band edging. Let's start with the cuff edging. Follow the foundation chain of the sleeve, and work back and forth for a certain number of rows. After completing it, crochet 1 round of lace trim along the finished rows. The new stitch used include DC6 in 1. Please watch as I demonstrate. Start crocheting H1. Place the sleeve's foundation chain towards yourself, then fold it in half along the joining position. Make sure the joining position is facing down. And join the yarn at the middle position on the top. In other words, the joining yarn position should be symmetrical to the joining position. Pay attention, since this H1 will be crocheted on the wrong side, the yarn is joined on the wrong side as well. That is, from the inside of the cuff. Pick up the remaining strands of the foundation chain and insert through. This corresponds to the insertion point for 1 double crochet. Insert through from the inside. Then make 3 chains as a beginning chain. Next, work a double crochet in the left chain. Then work 1 chain as a spacer. After that, skip 1 chain, work 1 double crochet in the second chain on the left. Continue crocheting double crochets. Work 1 chain as a spacer between the double crochets, and skip 1 chain below each time. Everyone finish this row. The last double crochet will be perfectly on the right stitch of the joining spot. That completes H1. Now move on to H2. Make 3 chains as a beginning chain. Then turn the piece. Next, work a double crochet into the left stitch. This row involves picking up the stitches from the previous row, and crocheting double crochets in sequence. Everyone finish this row. For the last stitch, pick up the beginning chain and crochet. That completes H2. For the following H3 to H16, no new stitches are used, just refer to the chart and complete them when crocheting at the chain. Similarly, crochet into the chain space. After completing it, proceed to crochet the lace trim for the cuffs. The number of rows in this sample is not for reference. Make 1 beginning chain, then work 2 single crochets into the last double crochet. Next, work 2 single crochets in the left beginning chain. Everyone continue by working 2 single crochets into each stitch along the edge. Continue all the way until you finish at H1's beginning chain. After completing it, on the adjacent side, work single crochets using the same method. Finish crocheting this side. After working 2 single crochets at the last row's beginning chain, proceed to crochet into the left double crochet stitch. Pay attention to the chart. For the small size, make 1 slip stitch here. Then work 1 single crochet into the left stitch. For the large and medium sizes, directly work 1 single crochet into this stitch. After completing the single crochet, skip 2 stitches. On the third stitch on the left side, work 1 DC6 in 1, that is, work 6 double crochets in the same position. After finishing the DC6 in 1, skip 2 stitches. Work 1 single crochet. This row consists of alternate crocheting between single crochets and DC6 in 1. Between each stitch, you need to skip 2 stitches. For some sizes, the marked positions require skipping 1 stitch. Everyone refer to the chart. Continue crocheting all the way to the dent of the cuff's edging. Upon reaching the corresponding position, pick any 2 strands at the middle point. Work 1 single crochet. Then finish crocheting the adjacent edge. After completion, on this single crochet, join with a slip stitch on the stitch to the left. Cut the yarn. Hide the tail on the wrong side of the piece. That completes the cuff edging. Next, let's look at the hem and front band edging. Start from the bottom of the left front piece. Crochet along the hem in one row. After finishing, crochet back and forth along the front band and neckline. You will need to change colors during the process. Reserve the positions for the buttonholes. Please watch me demonstrate. Start crocheting the hem edging. Place the hem side up. Take color 1. Join the yarn at the beginning chain on the edge of section 2 of the hem. Make one beginning chain. Then work one single crochet in the same stitch. Next, at the insertion point for the double crochet on the left side, work 1 DC6 in 1. Then work one single crochet in the double crochet on the left side. Refer to the chart. Complete the stitches with color 1. Change to color 2 at the last single crochet. Break color 1. Tie a knot to secure the yarn tail. Then work the same stitch pattern with color 2. Continue crocheting until you finish the part with color 2. At the last stitch, switch colors with an incomplete double crochet. To maintain symmetry on both sides, at the last stitch for color 2, you need to work 1 DC6 in 1. If the position doesn't align here, for the following few stitches, you can adjust the spacing distance based on the actual situation. Continue crocheting the remaining parts for color 1. After completing the last stitch, there's no need to break the yarn. Now the hem edging is complete. Next, start H1 of the front band edging. Pick up the foundation chain of section 2 on the hem and work single crochets. First, work 1 single crochet in the chain to the right of this double crochet. Then, work 1 single crochet at the insertion point of this double crochet, then continue working single crochets in the chain spaces and the insertion points of the double crochets. Keep going all the way until you finish the foundation chain. After completing it, continue referring to the chart and pick up stitches along the edge to work single crochets. Keep going until you finish the other side of section 2 of the hem. The exact insertion points for the single crochets and the stitch count here can also be adjusted according to the actual situation. Just make sure to keep the piece flat during the process. That's how you complete H1 of the front band edging. Next, move on to H2. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn the piece counterclockwise. Then work single crochets by picking up the stitches from the previous row. Keep going until you finish this row. That completes H2. Now move on to H3. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn the piece counterclockwise. Then work single crochets evenly into each stitch. Continue all the way up to the corner at the top of the front piece. When you reach the corresponding position, work 1 SC2 in 1 in the corner. That means working 2 single crochets into the same stitch. 1, 2. A SC2 in 1 is completed. Continue working single crochets evenly into each stitch. At the corner on the other side, work another SC2 in 1. Everyone finish this row. That completes H3. Next, let's look at H4. On this row, you need to leave space for the buttonholes. We can use a stitch marker or a yarn tail first to roughly mark the positions of the buttonholes on the piece. The buttonholes will be on the right front piece. The first one is approximately at the top of the front band. The remaining 4 are roughly evenly spaced apart. After marking, start working on H4. Firstly, make even single crochet at the corner of the top of the front piece. Work a SC2 in 1. Continue crocheting until you reach the marked buttonhole position. When you reach the marked position, work 2 chains. Then skip 2 stitches. And work a single crochet into the 3rd stitch on the left side. That completes 1 buttonhole. Use the same method for the remaining buttonholes. Work single crochets evenly in the rest of the stitches. Everyone finish crocheting H4. And that completes H4. For H5, work even single crochets. Work 2 single crochets in the chain space, where the buttonhole is located. Everyone finish crocheting H5. After completing H5, fasten off. Then join a new yarn to start crocheting H6. Note that H6 should be crocheted on the front of H5. That means joining the yarn at the beginning position of H5. Work even single crochets as usual. After completing H6, fasten off again. Then, at the starting position of H6, join the yarn again to start crocheting H7. Just finish crocheting them. At the end of H7, if the stitch count doesn't match perfectly, you can adjust according to the actual situation. Modify the number of spacing for the last few stitches. That concludes the explanation of crocheting the edging. Next, attach the buttons. After that, complete the drawstring. Start by sewing on the buttons. First, take out the larger buttons. Sew them on H2 and H3 of the edging. On the left front piece's button band. Align with the buttonholes on the right side. Use the same color yarn for sewing. Cut a length of yarn. Thread it through the needle. First, make sure to confirm the correct position. Insert from the wrong side of the corresponding position. Leave a little yarn tail. Then insert the button. Insert the needle into the adjacent position. Tie off the yarn tail on the wrong side to secure it. Then draw through again, and secure it 2 more times. After sewing securely, tie off the yarn tail on the wrong side and hide it. This completes the sewing of one button. For the remaining buttons on the front band, use the same method to sew them all. Note that these are all large buttons. The buttons on the cuffs are small buttons. Turn the cuffs to face upward. Sew the buttons on the left side. Distribute their positions evenly. Match them with the gaps in the stitches on the right side as buttonholes. Everyone, complete the sewing of the buttons on the cuffs. That concludes the explanation of button attachment. Next, make the drawstring. From the middle and the outer side of the yarn ball, pull out one yarn tail respectively. Combine the two tails together. Then leave about 5.5 meters at the front. The length here is not for reference. Hold the yarn with the left hand. Make a knot. Leave the reserved yarn tail below. Next, take the yarn tail below and wrap it over the hook from top to bottom. Then yarn over. Draw the yarn through these two loops. Continue by placing the yarn above the hook. Yarn over. Pull through. Continue crocheting. Hang the yarn. Yarn over. Draw through these two loops. Hang the yarn. Yarn over. Pull through. Continue in this manner. Keep crocheting until you reach the desired length. Leave a tail of about 15 centimeters and cut off. Pull the yarn tail through. Then insert it into a needle. Sew a large button here. Make sure to sew it a few more times. After securing it firmly, hide the yarn tail inside the drawstring. Including the remaining tails. Then pick up the new yarn. Sew another large button on the other end. Next, take the drawstring and insert it into age 2 of section 1 of the hem. From the hole between the double crochets in one of section 1 of hem, on the front piece. Exit from the hole on the left side. Then insert again. And exit. Continue using this method to thread through all the holes in this circle. Pull the drawstring out from the last hole. If the holes don't align, you can skip one hole and then insert. Ensure that both ends of the drawstring are on the outside. With that, the drawstring is also completed, up to this point. The making method for this top has been fully explained. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website, Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience. Enjoy the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.